Yeah. I think so. Well, like, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the City of Binghamton City Council Business Meeting for Wednesday, November 2nd, 2022. Please stand for the pledge. Thank you. Mr. Clerk, could you do a roll call for us, please?
Councilman Scaringi,
Present.
Councilwoman Resnetti,
Present.
Councilwoman Riley is absent. Councilwoman Friedman,
Present.
Councilman Burns, Councilman Scanlon is also absent, and President Strong.
Present.
That's 5 here, 2 absent, Riley and Scanlon.
Thank you for that. I'll now ask for the approval of minutes. Councilwoman Resnetti.
Motion to approve the minutes from the October 19th, 2022 business meeting and the October 21st, 2022 special business meeting.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. We do not have to set a public hearing tonight, so we'll go to our public comment section. Mr. Clerk, will you please announce public comment and tell folks how they can participate?
Yes, residents can speak publicly now at the microphone there. You have 5 minutes to speak. Please state your full name and if you live or work in the city of Binghamton. Thank you.
Can you hear me now? Wonderful.
Yes.
Good evening. I'm starting my timer. My name is Tina Chronopoulos. I live in the district that is being represented by Sophia Resnetti. As you know, hello. I live on Laurel Avenue, and I have a bunch of things that I would like to talk to you about tonight. One of them is the building that's happening on State Street. That started maybe 6 months ago and has been ongoing and actually a really serious problem for the businesses that are located on that street. And so for a city and a city council that prides itself on supporting small businesses, I am disgusted at how this has been handled. Okay, I don't know if you're aware, but there's at least one business there, Old Barn Hollow, who have been struggling to pay the bills. The owners haven't actually paid themselves a salary in months now. They're barely able to make ends meet. And as far as I know, having talked to them, the only thing that they got from the city was warm words. And so I would like to know why this has been allowed to happen, who chose the contractors to do that work, and why this work has not been done more quickly. I would be curious to know what would have happened if this kind of building work had taken place on a specific street where a specific dry cleaning business is located. And I would also be curious to know what would have happened if this kind of building work had taken place in other places downtown where business owners have contacts and relationships with the politicians, both at this table right here and also in the mayor's office. Just, you know, y'all business friendly, y'all care about small businesses, y'all care about taking care of finances, being responsible. That's not what being responsible looks like at all. You know it. I'm curious to know if and when y'all are going to make available to the public a list of spending, ARPA spending. It'd be really good if you could share that with us. You know, you fixed the roof here, which, yes, de jure, if you will, that was allowed, but de facto is a disgusting way of spending the money when there are other more serious problems that affect the city. I'm also curious to know if and when our mayor, with the help, hopefully, of City Council, will make available to the public a database or a list of landlords against whom there have been complaints under the code department. This is something that Mayor Graham said he would do. We have yet to see this, and I'm sure you're aware that the housing stock in Binghamton sucks, if you forgive my bad language. Yes, the housing market sucks here. It's really terrible, especially if you're renting. How many people here? I mean, I know you don't have to answer my question, but I'm curious, who's renting here? Do you know what that means to rent? If you don't make, right? But I know what it means. I know what it means to rent here. When I first got to Binghamton, I had to rent. It was really hard then to find a livable place, and it is harder now to find a livable place, right? And so I think it behooves you to make available to the public a database so that people can know who the shitty landlords are. Forgive my language. Who are they? If the city knows and the code departments know, why can't the people know? And then finally, I'm curious to know if and when the city is going to do something about its assessment of properties. I believe I've been in front of this council before to talk about that issue. So where I live on Laurel Avenue, I'm happy to share, you can look that stuff up. The house that I bought it for $120,000. At the time, it was
You have 1 minute.
assessed. Thank you. At the time, it was assessed, I believe, at 135 or 140. So I had to go and make a plea with the assessment council people to say, this is actually what I paid. I would like to pay less than taxes because this is what I ended up paying. And at the time, I remember looking at houses that are owned by colleagues of mine just because I knew who they were. They live on Davis, they live on Leroy. Their houses at the time were valued less than mine. They were paying fewer taxes than I am. And to this day, I believe that is the case because there has been no update to the assessment. How's that okay? And number two, we have landlords now who are buying up houses. I've heard from people who live on Front Street. They told me that they get regular phone calls. Every couple of weeks, they will get a phone call from a very aggressive developer who wants to buy the house.
Your
They're
5
gonna-
minutes is up.
They're going to stick 5 or 6 students in there. They're going to make 50 grand a year and they're going to pay fewer taxes than me. You care about the people and you care about businesses? Get me out of here.
Mr. Clerk, do we have any email or electronic communication for
We do
public
not.
comment? Okay. Okay, seeing no one else in the gallery, we will move on to our rest of our agenda tonight. We do have one item prior to the legislative agenda. That's more of our internal business. We need to formally approve the proposed 2023 City of Binghamton City Council meeting calendar. We've talked about this several times, made some changes. I think it's been well thought through. We have proposed official proposed budget hearing dates. Obviously, those can be changed, but at least it keeps it in front of us. And the clerk's office has added a little section on the other side with budget meetings that outlines the time frame for our budget and also outlines the rough time frame for the, well, I think it's officially the time frame for the sewer budget, but obviously we need to work out the exact details with the trustee board at Johnson City, but at least kind of keeps it in front of us so we can plan for it and not not let that go to the last minute. So does anybody else have any questions or comments on the proposed? And obviously along the way, things come up, something happens, whether it's weather related or something else, we can certainly make changes if we have to, but I think this is a pretty good calendar for next year. Anybody have any questions or comments on the calendar before we approve it? Go ahead, Councilmember Friedman.
Thank you, President Strawn. I think that overall it looks good. One thing that I have mentioned in the past is that on the city website, and I haven't checked to see if this has changed or not, but our meetings are listed as occurring on the first and third Monday and Wednesday But this calendar is, while it makes sense, does not follow that. And so I think that we should, I don't know if we need to change formally the city code to match up with the calendar. That's my first question. And my second one is I'm glad that the budget meetings are listed in advance. I think that's really helpful. I wonder if, while keeping these ones proposed, we might consider doing maybe one more, just because having the 3 budget meetings this year was a little bit rough. I think that sentiment was maybe shared. And while this one does add another full-length meeting, I wonder if we can maybe as we see fit, add an additional budget meeting, maybe during budget season. That's my other question, or I guess comment. No, it's a question.
Okay, thank you. I think for now we'll go with this, but I think we should talk about that once the mayor presents his budget, and if there's something, obviously this stuff, like you said, does add a full extra day, and this year wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it did create a long session on that Thursday. So I definitely like the full extra day. But I think we'll go with it and then let the mayor when the mayor presents his budget on September 15th, then if something that stands out or something looks like it's going to be, extraordinary, then we might consider doing that. But it also gives us some time even if we got to the 27th, or I'm sorry, the 4th, and we still have a lot of things, or the things keep running long, we could always add one between the 11th and that next week as well, and still have plenty of time to get it passed.
And do we know about the city code, if that has to be officially changed? Because our meetings are no longer on the 1st and 3rd, for this year at least. Our meetings are no longer on the 1st and 3rd Monday and Wednesday.
Sharon, what's your suggestion on that? Should we go ahead and make that change? Not right now, but should we write something up and change that doesn't say the 1st and 3rd? What does it say? The first Monday?
It's so, and again, admittedly, I haven't checked this recently, but what it used to say, I think it was on the web, either on the website or maybe in the city code, I think.
My suggestion would be to double check the website and the city code, and I think we can make that request tonight through the clerk's office and have Corporation Counsel confirm with the clerk's office that all such citations to those dates should be corrected and or removed.
Yeah, so actually I'm looking it up right now, and it is in the city code. And we did make an adjustment to this when we changed the meeting time from 6:30 to 6. But it does say the regular business meetings of the city council shall be held in the in the council chamber in the municipal building on each Wednesday following the 1st and 3rd Monday evenings of each month.
Okay, I think that's a great catch, and if council wants to authorize us, I think you are, by setting the schedule and suggesting dates that deviate from that. Corporation Counsel can sua sponte do a request for legislation on your behalf. I just get a kind of straw man voice vote on that.
On making that change. Yeah.
Mhm. Just
Everyone
authorize
agree?
them to do the RL.
Yeah. If you could write that up for us, that'd be great.
Sure.
We need that documented though, and that's changing the city charter.
Just allow Brian to do the request for legislation on your behalf,
RL, yeah,
Just
Right,
the
and
RL.
then we'll do formal vote.
yeah,
because usually we wouldn't have corp counsel do that on his own authority.
yeah, my opponent, thank
No,
you.
no, no worries.
So for reference, it's chapter 26.
Subsection 26-1, paragraph A.
Okay, thank you. So I guess I'll take a motion to approve the proposed budget for 2023.
I move that we approve the calendar
not the
Or I say
budget.
budget, I apologize.
I know where
Calendar.
the calendar
I
for city
apologize.
council
Been-
for
been a long day.
2023. Thank
Yep.
you.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilman Scaringi,
Aye.
Councilwoman Resnetti,
Aye.
Councilwoman Riley,
Aye.
Councilwoman Friedman,
Aye.
Councilman Burns,
Aye.
Councilman Scanlon is absent, and President Strong.
Excuse me. Aye.
That's 6 ayes, 1 absent, Scanlon.
Okay, thank you everyone for the discussion. Thank you, Councilmember Friedman, for picking that up. We might as well tidy that up so we're in compliance with our code and charter. Okay, we will move on to our first reading legislation, our preferred agenda. Would anybody like anything pulled from the preferred agenda? Okay, we only have 2 items. Mr. Clerk, will you walk us through the preferred agenda, please?
Yes, so the first item on tonight's preferred agenda is introductory ordinance 22-158, considered in finance. And this is an ordinance to amend the 2022 Binghamton Johnson City Joint Sewage Facilities budget for state and federal emergency disaster assistance.
Any questions or comments for introductory ordinance 22-158? Okay, please proceed.
And the next item on the preferred agenda is introductory ordinance 22-159, considered in finance. And this is an ordinance to amend the 2022 fire department budget for gas, fuel, travel, training, and overtime.
Any questions or comments on introductory ordinance 22-159? Okay,
Motion to approve the preferred agenda, Mr. Moore.
Second.
okay. Can we have a roll call vote, please, Mr. Clerk?
Councilman Scaringi,
Aye.
Councilwoman Resnetti,
Aye.
Councilwoman Riley,
Aye.
Councilwoman Friedman,
Aye.
Councilman Burns,
Aye.
Councilman Scanlon is absent, and President Strong.
Aye.
That's 6 ayes, 1 absent, Scanlon.
Okay, thank you, everyone. We will now move on to our communications. And first meeting in November, we will start with District 3 and Councilwoman Riley.
Thank you, Council President. I will not be before you long, but I want to say happy fall as we are approaching the fall season and all of our leaves are in front of our houses and rolling into the street, which reminds me that branch and tree pickup will soon end. So be mindful of that calendar, everyone. I want to give a shout out and a congratulations to the Hyman family. We received a text about a new addition. We know our own person. We're excited about her. And again, this is homecoming season for those of you that are tuned into your alma maters and various college venues. And for those of us that graduated from HBCUs, this is particularly special because it's our time to go back and celebrate. So I want to just highlight everyone that has been spending those moments reminiscing on the days of old and just using that bubble of joy to carry you through till the holidays. Before we reconvene, it will be time to vote. So I'm encouraging everyone to exercise their right and make sure you cast your ballot for those that stand along with what you believe. That's all that I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now go to District 4 and Councilmember Friedman.
Thank you, President Strawn. I don't have much to report. I have been out of town I was able to attend a conference for my day job, which was a lot of fun. And I came back just in time for the trunk or treat event at Roosevelt Elementary School, which it was my first trunk or treat actually. And it was nice to see so many local families come out. I don't, in my capacity as a city council member, I don't normally see children that much. It's usually adults and maybe young adults as well, but that was really nice. And There were so many participants that I actually ran out of candy. I spent almost $50 on candy and I ran out. So the people who were in the trunks next to me were kind enough to take pity on me and share some of their candy. The North Side Assembly meeting is happening on Thursday, tomorrow at 6 p.m. at Shenango, Centenary Shenango Street United Methodist Church. And yeah, I encourage you to come out and, as Councilwoman Riley said, of course, vote early or on election day. My personal preference is to vote early just to show that it is valuable, that it's a valuable addition to our voting infrastructure that we are able to vote early instead of just on one day when many people don't get off and have to work. So I think that is it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We will now go to District 5 and Councilman Burns.
Thank you, Mr. President. Nothing much to report. The South Side, I'll thank the Public Works Department. They got Mary Street done. They said they would get it done before the snow flies, and they did, and it's beautiful. And we got quite a few streets done on the South Side this season. So I want to thank the mayor and them and the Public Works Department all for that. And we had a good South Side Neighborhood Assembly meeting last week, and I got to say, no complaints. So we're doing pretty good. All right, thanks.
Thank you. We'll now go to District 1, First Ward, and Councilman Scringy.
Thank you, Mr. President. Nothing to report.
Thank you. And we'll go to District 2 and Councilwoman Rezanetti.
Thank you, Mr. President. Not much to report here either. A big, thank you to all of those who kept those kids safe this past, when was it, Monday night. A lot of kids were out celebrating, Halloween, and also big thanks to all of those who put together the trunk or treats. They're definitely different than I think when we were growing up, but it makes total sense at times and provides kids a safe place to go and enjoy their costumes and candy. But I also want to say a big thank you to all of those who supported the annual supply drive that I do for victims of domestic violence. Once again, it was a huge success, and I'm certainly very grateful for that support. And I know that those who will be able to use the items will also be very grateful. And a lot of times it makes all the difference in their lives. So thank you very much to all who supported them. Good night.
Thank you. Just a couple, not really much. I did stop a couple Sundays ago, and I'm glad Councilwoman Riley said to the breast cancer walk. I did not walk this year, but next year I'm going to get a picture and I'm going to walk. But I was there for about an hour, and it was a beautiful morning, and it looked like a great attendance and support, and people were having a good time for a great cause. So that was neat to see everybody out there. I think the clerk's office worked with Councilman Scringy and set a MPA meeting next Wednesday at 5 o'clock to begin a discussion, get some of the tools, software, things out for the redistricting process. So thank you for doing that, Councilman Scringy, and hopefully get that process started and moving forward. And I would also encourage everyone to vote. I did vote early, Councilmember Friedman, and went outside the city this year to that Taste New York site, and it's beautiful. I've been to the farmers market part, but I've never been actually to that Taste New York building. It's gorgeous. Had a breakfast sandwich. It's really nice in there. So it's a great site. And there's 3 other sites in Endicott, Johnson City, and in Binghamton at the public library. So I believe we can do that all the way through this Sunday. Board of Elections catches their breath on Monday and gets everything reset for the regular election districts, and then election day on Tuesday. So definitely encourage everybody to take that advantage of that. With that, I'll take a motion to adjourn